Hey guys, in today's video I am gonna answer 101 interesting questions about betta fish. So, let's get started.
1. Do betta fish get lonely?
Bettas are known solitary species. They do not get lonely. They are tough fish. They love settling in a tank and do not like new environments.
2. Is keeping betta fish cruel?
Keeping a betta fish is not cruel unless you have placed it in a really small container.
3. Can betta fish bite you?
Betta fish do have teeth, but they are not so big so as to cause big critical injury to human fingers.
4. How can I play with my betta fish?
You can move your finger from one side of the tank to the other. The betta may follow your finger.
5. How can I tell if my betta fish is happy?
A happy betta fish is very active and will respond to your movements. If you place a new thing in the tank, they will explore it. The betta may also dig around.
6. What do betta fishes like in their tank?
The betta is very sensitive and the sharp objects in the tank can hurt its fins. Bettas do like plants and live plants are always a better option.
7. Do bettas like music?
Whilst some say that bettas can only feel vibrations, some claim that their bettas react to music. The best way is to play soft music and watch your betta. If the betta goes into hiding or starts moving faster, you know the betta is not responding well. This may stress the betta.
8. Do bettas need a heater?
If you are living in a cold country, the betta will definitely need a heater to regulate the temperature.
9. Do bettas like light?
Bettas are not fond of bright light. They like a mild atmosphere. So, ensure a mild light is used.
10. What does a stressed betta look like?
If you feed your betta and he does not come out to eat it, then he is stressed.
11. Why does my betta go crazy when he sees me?
A betta can easily recognize you and he might associate you with his feeding time and thus display excitement.
12. Why does my betta flare?
Bettas can flare for several reasons. It is a natural behavior for them. They are also called fighting fish. They are essentially asserting themselves.
13. Do bettas get attached to their owners?
Betta fish are pretty intelligent. Given the space to explore, they respond to their owners and recognize them. Bettas can be curious, feel fear or even anger. However, emotional attachment is not a scientifically established factor.
14. Is it okay for bettas to see each other?
It is not okay for bettas to see each other unless the objective is to get them to breed.
15. Can I put snails in with my betta fish?
Not all snails are great with bettas. Sometimes the betta might reject a companion snail without any reason at all.
16. Do betta fish jump out of their bowls?
Yes, bettas do tend to jump from their container. So, it is definitely better that you have a tank with a top enclosure.
17. Why betta fish jump out of their bowls?
A spike of ammonia in the water can instigate a betta to jump out. The best way to handle this is to ensure clean water at all times and water changes at regular intervals.
18. Why are betta fish so aggressive?
Betta fish are very territorial in nature. They do not like sharing their territory with other bettas and hence become aggressive at the sight of another betta.
19. How often should I feed my betta?
Feed it every day except one day of the week to keep it healthy. 5 to 8 pellets per day is sufficient. You can divide the 8 pellets into 2 times a day, 4 per time.
20. Do bettas eat moss balls?
Bettas are carnivorous fish. They do not eat moss balls.
21. Are bettas smart?
Bettas are not just smart but they are very smart. They are capable of learning several things if you are willing to teach them.
22. Can you put anything with a betta fish?
Of course, you have certain other fish along with the betta fish. However, make sure it is not another male betta. Cory catfish are the top best tank mates for bettas.
23. Can betta fish live in a bowl without a filter?
A filter is not mandatory for a betta fish. However, a small and mild filter can help keeping your betta tank clean and prevent the formation of fungi.
24. Can two female betta fish live together?
2 or more female fish can be placed in the same tank. This is known as a sorority tank. However, this is not for a beginner and needs expertise.
25. Are bettas high maintenance?
No, bettas are not high maintenances. With a few regular water top-ups and normal level of cleaning and feeding, your betta does not require high maintenance.
26. Do betta fish like to watch TV?
It is very likely that the fish is attracted to movement on the TV screen and is curious about it.
27. Do bettas like cold water?
Bettas can die in cold water. They are fish originating from warm waters and cold water can lower their metabolism.
28. What do betta fish do at night?
Bettas know it is time to sleep when it is dark and the lights are off. It is therefore important that you create a routine for your betta.
29. Can betta fish stay in the dark?
The betta fish is a tropical fish and used to light. A dark tank would mean that the betta cannot see well and thus lower its feeding capabilities and metabolism.
30. Can I turn my betta filter off at night?
Turning off the filter at night is not a good thing to do. The filter helps the good bacteria to grow. These bacteria deal with the nitrate level of the tank.
31. Can betta fish sleep in the dark?
Of course, betta fish can sleep in the dark. In fact, that is what they prefer as their routine. Since betta can't see well in the dark, they tend to sleep.
32. How hot is too hot for a betta fish?
Anything beyond 83 degrees centigrade is too hot for a betta fish. Although bettas come from warm waters, they do not need hot water.
33. How do I know if my betta is cold?
Checking the temperature is the best way to know if your betta is cold. If the temperature is less than 77 to 78, then the water is cold for your betta.
34. Do betta fish need light at night?
Betta fish do not need light at night. In fact, they need a dark time every day, so that they can sleep and wake up when the light is switched on.
35. Why is my betta alive but not moving? Is it normal for betta fish to stay still?
Betta fish like to have a space in the tank where it feels safe. If the betta is very stationary most of the time, then your betta might be sick. It may even be an indication of low temperature.
36. Why is my betta turning white?
One of the main reasons for a betta to lose color is stress. The immediate thing to do is check the water quality and temperature.
37. How do you save a dying betta fish?
If you feel your betta is dying, then the best thing to do is put him in a sick tank with the right temperature of water and add a stress reducer and anti-parasite medicine as per dosage. Remember to add a few drops of methylene blue. Do not feed him for a day or two. You can add almond leaf to hasten the curing process.
38. Why does my betta spit out its food?
The betta spitting out food is not abnormal. They do this to break down the food and soften it. If you find the betta not eating at all, try softer food.
39. Can I get my betta fish high?
Fish do not get high. Research has proved that THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, substances do not get fish high. So, it is not a great idea to subject your betta to what you think might be fun for you. 40. How fast do betta fish grow? The growth of the betta fish depends on several factors, mainly, water quality and temperature. In about 10 days a baby betta fry will reach about 0.20 inches. A fully grown adult betta can reach the size of 3 inches between 1.5 to 2 years depending on the conditions. 41. Will betta fish kill snails? Betta fish do not kill snails. In fact, invertebrates do very well in betta tanks. The snails clean the betta tank. 42. What is the rarest betta color? The rarest betta color is the one with no pigmentation at all. It is called the albino betta fish. Only the eyes carry a tinge of either pink or red. 43. Will a betta kill a goldfish? Betta fish will attack goldfish as self-defense. Let us understand why. Goldfish are tail nippers. When this happens, the betta becomes aggressive.
44. Will male bettas kill female bettas?
However, it is better the male and female bettas are not placed together unless your tank is huge and has many hiding places. Usually, it is preferable to unite the male and female for breeding purpose only. The best way is to have only one betta per tank.
45. Can shrimp live with betta?
Bettas are carnivorous and they will feed on baby brine shrimps. In a larger tank with some place to hide, shrimp do fairly okay. However, if you can avoid it, it's best.
46. What human food can I feed my betta fish?
Unlike suckerfish or goldfish, bettas cannot be fed with vegetables or other food. Bettas have a sensitive digestive system and can cause digestive problems for the betta. So, it is best if you just feed the betta its normal food which is scientifically prepared for it.
47. Can I leave my betta fish for a week?
You are definitely entitled to leave your betta to go on vacation. Here are a few things you can do. Try leaving the betta with a family member or friend.
48. How do you tell if you overfeed your betta?
If your betta is healthy and moving around and still has a bloated stomach, then you know it's overfed. The best way is to not feed the betta for a day.
49. Which is the most aggressive betta fish?
The most aggressive betta variety is the placat betta. They are known for their fighting skills.
50. Can I have two betta fish?
First of all, bettas are known to enjoy being alone. They are not the fish who seek company. So, there is no need to have two bettas.
51. How do bettas attack?
Bettas are instinctive attackers. They rely on stimulus. They are known to attack based on the physical behavior or movement of the other fish.
52. Do moss balls have babies?
Yes. Moss balls reproduce asexually and yes, therefore they split into two and grow.
53. Can bettas hear your voice?
Fish in general do not have great hearing. The water further reduces the noise that reaches them. Yet, some amount of sound does reach them.
54. Why does my betta fish keep looking at me?
Betta fish are very observant and like to explore. If there is nothing much to do in the tank, and you are near the tank, then the betta fish would like to watch what you do.
55. Can angelfish live with betta?
The answer to this question is a OMG no. Both are aggressive fish and highly territorial in nature. So, the natural consequence is they're attacking each other.
56. Do bettas like decorations?
Betta fishes like plants and do like places to settle. Live plants are always a better option. A change in decoration excites them.
57. Is 82/85 degrees too hot for a betta fish?
The ideal temperature for a betta is 78 to 80. If you increase the temperature, the capacity of the water to hold oxygen decreases and you might find your betta at the top trying to breathe. Some say up to 82 is okay, but not more.
58. Can one male and two female betta fish live together?
This is not at all advisable for individual betta owners. Only one betta can stay in a tank. If a group of females are put together, called a sorority tank, the dominant female can kill the other females. Here is a pro tip for you. It is important you have 2 or more extra backup tanks to handle a sorority.
59. How do I get my female betta to produce eggs?
First observe the female belly. You must be able to see a white egg-like spot. This means the female is a grown adult and capable of breeding. Feed them small amounts of food 3 times a day, with high protein and high fat.
60. Is it okay for fish to watch TV?
A betta fish cannot actually watch TV. It can only recognize movement, flash and color. Too much of anything is bad. Constant change of color from the TV can stress your betta. It will depend on your betta.
61. What do betta fish do at night?
Generally, betta fish like a routine. They sleep when it's dark. Some bettas may rest and then move around the tank for a bit and then go back to sleep.
62. Will my betta fish die in cold water?
Bettas are tropical fish and are used to warm waters. Cold waters will definitely kill your betta because of the betta. Ideally 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit is the best temperature for a betta.
63. Do betta fish like blue light at night?
Yes, betta fish would like blue light because the blue light makes them feel that they are under moonlight and encourages physical activity.
64. Can a filter kill a betta fish?
A strong filter can indirectly kill a betta fish. This is because the betta will have to struggle against the currents of the filter, thus constantly stressing the betta. This may lead to other complications and thus the death of the betta.
65. How do I know if my filter is too strong for the betta?
A filter for a betta must be very mild and such that it does not interfere with the currents of the water. If the betta is getting blown away by the filter, it definitely is too strong for the betta. If the betta is able to comfortably swim around the filter, then it is just right.
66. Do betta fish sleep with lights on?
Bettas live in shallow river basins and by jumping from puddle to puddle. Thus, they have always known or perceived a sunset easily. Leaving the light on all the time, the betta will be overstimulated.
67. Is 70 degrees too cold for a betta?
Yes, 70 degrees is cold for a betta. Although it may not be too cold, it's not the right temperature. 78 to 80 degrees is the right temperature for the betta.
68. What water is best for betta fish?
Water that is fresh and conditioned is the best for betta fish. Betta fish like tannin, tea-colored water. Just because they come from puddles, it does not mean that they like dirty water. Here is one more pro tip for you. If you don't like the tea-colored water, then provide it with some live plants.
69. What does betta fin rot look like?
Fin rot is a bacterium which attacks the betta's fins. This is because of the low immunity of the betta. A fin rot in a betta will begin to show by the fin looking incomplete and as if it has been nipped off by other fish. The tail is not whole and looks shredded. Take one more pro tip from me. Indian almond leaves are the best to cure the betta in cases of fin rot.
70. Can you revive a dead betta fish?
Unfortunately, you cannot revive any dead being back to life. However, you can try and save a dying betta.
71. Do betta fry need air pump?
No, newborn betta fry does not need an air pump. However, as they grow, a really mild air pump would do no harm.
72. Is my betta fish dead or sleeping?
The easiest way to find out if your fish is sleeping is to gently tap on the glass and see if the fish responds.
73. Why is my betta fish barely moving?
If your betta is not old and is a young betta, and not moving at all, there are only two reasons. Either your betta lacks stimulation or your betta is sick.
74. What type of food is good for bettas?
Bettas are carnivorous. They will need food that is high in protein. Live foods are necessary only during breeding.
75. What is the ideal tank size for a betta?
The minimum tank size for a betta fish is 3.7 gallons. This converts to 16.8 liters. But a 5-gallon is recommended.
76. What is the pH level required for a betta?
The ideal pH level for a betta fish is 7. They can go up to 8 or 9 but not more. If the pH is not okay, it can kill your betta.
77. What is the ideal temperature for bettas?
They are used to 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit since they originate from warm waters. Cold temperature will slow down your betta and affect their metabolism, leading to even death.
78. What is the origin of the betta?
The bettas are also known as Siamese fighting fish. Pronounced Bettuh, the betta originates from Thailand, Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam. They are known as Betta splendens, meaning, beautiful warrior.
79. Should betta food be pellets or flakes?
Any food that floats longer and does not sink too soon is ideal. The size of the pellets must be tiny so that the betta finds it easy to eat. Pellets are better than flakes since the betta can take it in easily.
80. Can a betta survive in a marine tank?
A betta needs clean water, not salt water. Salt water is only used as a medicine for betta fish, when the betta is bathed in salt water only for 2 minutes.
81. How do I know if my betta is sick?
Bettas are usually active and curious fish. They are bright in color. If you find its color is faded, then it's a sign of illness. The second sign is its appetite.
82. How much does a betta cost?
A betta can cost anything between $3 to $4 to $1,550. This depends on the quality and variety of the betta. A moon-tail betta would be around $14 to $15.
83. How do you select a betta?
First of all, look at the tail of the betta. It must be a whole tail without any indications of shredding. Next, the betta must be active.
84. What toys can you give to a betta?
Betta fish play with ping pong balls, floating balls, etc. They like to be mentally stimulated. New layouts in the betta tank help a lot.
85. How big can a betta get?
A betta can grow up to 3.5 inches long. This usually takes more than a year and a half for a baby betta to reach its full size.
86. Can I keep a betta in a cement pot with a molly?
A cement pot is not exactly ideal for a betta. The water levels in a cement pot can become more alkaline and can even cause burns. So, it is best that you don't house any fish in a cement container.
87. Can I put my betta in a vase or a small container?
A betta fish can survive in a small tank. However, it is not the most recommended tank size for the betta fish. A betta loves exploring and swimming around. So, a decently sized tank is the minimum you can do for your finny pet.
88. How long will my betta fish live?
A betta fish can live as long as 5 to 7 years if you take really good care. However, store-bought bettas can live up to 2 years.
89. How often should I clean my betta tank?
A 30% water change once in 3 days and a weekly gravel clean using a siphon should be great. A complete clean once every 20 days is an awesome way to maintain your little betta.
90. Why do my betta fish fins get ripped?
If the betta is in a community tank, look for fin nippers. If your betta is alone, it's an infection which can be treated. Dirty water is the common cause of fin rot. Also check the temperature of the water.
91. Why do bettas let out bubbles?
Bubbles are an indication of nesting. Bubbles are not a 100% indicator of health, but it surely is a good indicator. Some bettas may not bubble at all unless they see a female. Some may bubble frequently.
92. How do you mentally stimulate a betta fish?
There are lots of ways to mentally stimulate a betta fish. First, you can place mirror outside the tank for about 2 minutes a day. The other way is to get the betta to play or even new decoration or new layout of the tank.
93. Is it normal for the betta to stay at the top of the tank?
It is not normal for the betta to sit at the top of the tank. If he is always at the top, he is having issues breathing or an infection. It would be best if you start consulting a professional for advice on treating the betta.
94. Do bettas need an air pump?
Betta fish do not need an air pump. Bettas are labyrinth breathers. This means they can take air from the surface.
95. What do you need for a betta fish tank?
First, clean water, a temperature controller, some gravel, a few plants, a filter, and a water conditioner. Lol. Don't forget the betta of your choice. I shall give one more pro tip to our lovely subscribers. But before that, please go and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Here is a pro tip for you. Keep an extra tank if your betta has tank mates, so that you can allow your betta some free time when needed.
96. What food is good for a betta?
Bettas need food that floats on the top of the water and are small and easy to bite. Betta loves variety. Check for food that has less chemicals and preservatives. Bettas need a high-protein diet along with some fiber and fat content.
97. Do betta fish yawn and why?
First, it can be due to breathe in more oxygen. Second, to let the gills get cleaned by letting in more water. Third, it could be asking you for food. But this has to be deduced after observation. 98. What determines the quality, beauty, of the betta fish? The most important aspect is the tail and the fins. The variety of the tail can range from moontail to double tail. The next aspect is the color.
99. How does the betta reproduce?
A male betta creates bubbles, which is called a bubble nest. If the female goes near the bubble nest, it means she is reciprocating to the male's advances. Then the pair breed. This allows the female to let out the eggs in her pouch. As the female releases her eggs, the male captures the eggs and brings them back to the bubble nest. This is where the eggs fertilize and hatch after a few days.
100. How many varieties of bettas are there?
There are 13 types of bettas. The classification is done by virtue of the tail type. For example, a double tail betta has its main fin split into two. The crown tail betta has sharp spiky edges at its fins.
101. Do bettas have a personality?
Yes, bettas do have a personality. They are intelligent and curious. They like playing and they recognize their owners. They have their choices and preferences of places, foods and even tank mates. To get detailed information about this topic, must check the link in the description and check out petsandfins.com.